The Secrets of Mary Bowser by Lois Levine is a book about a girl growing up in the South during the American Civil War. She lives in Richmond, Virginia. As a slave to the wealthy Van Loo family, comparatively, she's pretty well off for a slave. The Van Loos are a relatively nice family, and things could be a lot worse. One day, her mother and father send her off with Bet Van Loo, the mid-20s daughter of the Van Loo family and an anti-slavery activist. They go to Philadelphia, where Mary has been accepted into a small school for African-American young girls. The first day there, she makes an enemy and a friend. The enemy, Philippa, is a prissy and very girlish person who is also a bit of a teacher's pet. The friend, Hattie Jones, is a couple of years older than Mary and is extremely accommodating and kind to Mary. The people Mary lives with are a mother and daughter, and they are Mrs. Upshaw and her daughter Dulcie, whom Mary calls Duck. Duck is neither kind nor mean, but she is not very accommodating, unlike Hattie. In Philadelphia, Mary experiences many conflicts due to racial differences. One day, she's over at Hattie's house and makes a shocking discovery. Hattie's family is part of the Underground Railway. Or is it railroad or rail?
Railroad.
Okay. Hattie's father has an undertaker's shop, a stopping point for the Underground Railway, where they ferry slaves to areas where they can be truly free. One time, Mary accompanies the Scotsman, McNiven, one of the drivers of the carts that takes the slave to where they are going, in coffins. Mary, now a young woman, heads back to Richmond to visit her parents and Bet. There, she meets the man who will become her husband, Wilson Bowser. As this has been happening, her career as a spy for the Union has steadily progressed. One day, she heads over to a barn where some Union prisoners are being held. She brings them a basket of food and gifts, and the lieutenant gives her a book with random words underlined in it. She soon realizes that if you take the first letter of each of the underlined words, you not only get the lieutenant's name, but also the names of all of the men killed in the recent battle, the skirmish in which Union men were killed. Their identities, highly confidential in Richmond. She's then sent, posing as a slave, to the house of Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederate States. She gathers some extremely valuable information, such as where the bulk of the Confederate forces are really going to be, instead of just a few to distract the Union while the others sneak up behind. To find out if she ever gets out of Davis's house, and more importantly, if she is ever discovered, read the book to find out. Commentary. I really enjoyed this book. When writing a book review, I would usually look for a passage whose writing either inspired me or was especially good or was poetic. But I think this whole book was like that. It was an extremely intriguing and exciting book to read. This book would certainly go on my top 10 list of books or book series. And I would definitely rate this book 5 out of 5 stars.
Excellent. Can I join you for a little Q&A?
Yeah, sure.
So, people might want to know how old you are, William.
Yeah, I'm 11.
11. So what other books are some of your top books?
I read the Aragon series. Mm-hmm. I read The Invention of Hugo Cabret and Wonderstruck. I read a series with 3 books, Leviathan, Behemoth, and Goliath, which I really enjoyed.
Are those big books? Because those words all mean big.
Yes, they're pretty long books.
Gotcha.
They're about a kind of sci-fi World War I in terms of who's fighting whom, but sci-fi in terms of giant walkers and some really crazy air machines.
So this was much more of a realistic, science fiction. But you were able to get into it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you have any questions for me as the author?
Do you have a favorite character?
It's hard to say. I mean, in some ways, Mary's the main character, and of course the book is written in her voice, so it's really easy to feel like she was the character I was most connected with. But there are some characters who I think are really funny, and I kind of like that about them. So do you want to come sit over here? Be part of the crowd? So, like, Dulcie's mother always says really funny stuff, not usually on purpose, but I kind of like her. I like Miss Bet's mother, Mistress Van Loo, because I feel like I didn't even realize as I was writing how much she changes as a character over the course of the book, and by the end I was like, she's really, like, you know, she's not a major character, she's kind of a minor character, but you see her kind of develop, and so I like that. Some things like that, yeah. Other questions?
I think that's it that I can think of just off the top of my head.
Okay. Thank you for review. I'm really excited to have it. May I circulate it?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.